Hey everybody, Joe here. I'm checking in. Subject to the video for this one here is going to be getting your first 10 grand. You can also sub in $100,000 if you want instead of 10 grand here. It doesn't really matter which. The reason I'm hitting this is because your first 10 grand and your first 100 grand are your two most difficult thresholds to hit in your financial journey. I firmly believe that. It is way harder to go from 0 to 100 than it is to go from 100 to $500,000, right? This money thing is a game. It's a skill that you have to acquire, and you can't just magically make more money and you'll just happen to just make 100 grand. People generally find a way to spend most of their money. So we've got to change your skill set in order to get there. Now I'm gonna just go hard and fast here on some of these tricks, tips, things that have helped me, and mentality stuff. So I'm not gonna be too sugarcoating. I'm gonna give it to you pretty raw and straight here. So get ready. All right. First, your thermometer is broken. We need to acknowledge that. Your money thermometer. Each month, if I don't have, I'll be honest, if I don't have a couple grand coming in that's extra in my account, there's a massive problem, and I am having a hard look at my spending or whatever the heck was going on that month. Even December, when I'm spending money on family and friends for Christmas, I'm still making more money than I'm spending. That is a standard I hold myself to. You might not need to be hard and fast like that, but you need to change your thermometer because your thermometer is broken. Right now, if you're making, let's just say 3 grand a month, and you're spending 2,900 of it, that means out of the 20 working days that you worked, if you're working 5 days a week for 4 weeks, you're working 19 of them for other people and 1 for yourself, roughly. Right? That's if you're saving 100, 200 bucks a month. You need to be saving at least 20% of what you're making. Now, we do that in 2 different ways here. You either have to save more money or make more money. I'm going to start with save money first because I think it's more important, and I'll explain why. So you can make 100 grand a year, you can make $1 million a year, and you can spend all that money. If you don't have the fiscal responsibility to be able to batten down the hatches and save that money, you're never going to get ahead. I have the ability to live off 25 grand a year, right? Me personally. I can do that. I wouldn't love it, but I could do it. If I'm starting a new business, I'm going to go into that beans and rice mode. I'll do that if I have to, right? Where are you trying to get to, right? Next, there's 2 main areas that are really hurting the middle class, and that is buying new cars and going out to eat. So we're going to address those 2 right now. I want you can budget, you can do all sorts. I highly endorse budgeting. You can go to Mint. There's tons of different apps that you can use for this. But you need to take a strong look at your budget. A bunch of my friends, 7 or 8 out of 10 will just say friends and acquaintances, they're spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars out each month just going out to eat. If you don't have 10 grand, you don't get to go out to eat. That's a rule I would make. If you don't have 100 grand, you get to go out once a month. If it's you and your girlfriend's birthday, so to speak, coming up this month, tough job, bud. You're taking your girl out and that's it. You got to hold yourself to a standard. Your thermometer's broken. We got to get after it here. Make food at home. You can. There's YouTube and the internet these days. There's no more excuses anymore. You can do a good job at home. Stop going out to eat. You gotta save that money. All right, getting off that one. Make more money. First off, if you get a raise, don't buy anything. Tons of people, I see it all the time on Facebook and Instagram. Hey, got a new promotion. They go out and treat themselves to a car the next week. That's going to depreciate and just, oh my gosh, it's such a bad idea. And I don't want to rain on their parade, but it's like, oh my gosh, like, you're an idiot. There's no other way to say it. Like, financially and fiscally, you are not smart in that moment. I feel bad for them. Anyways, if you're to make more money, if you're salaried, you can ask for a raise. That's gonna be a little bit tougher if you're just salaried. If you're an hourly or shift employee, try to get extra hours in. And a good way to do that is by texting people before their shifts, like an hour and a half before. Hey, cool if I pick up this shift for you. And you'd be amazed how many people will give up shifts. I picked up a lot of Saturday nights bartending, and that really helped me get my first. Well, I was over 10 grand at the time, but multiply my my efforts to get to 100. Next, I also want you to take a look at a side job, and I want you to do this for another reason. You're not just looking to make money off this, but you're looking to learn as well. Like, if I were to go back and talk to my 18-year-old self, I was like, hey man, like, would you be interested in real estate down the road? Like, a lot of millionaires, the majority of them make a lot of their money through real estate. I would go back in time and I would just work a side job or my main job for the best house flipper in the area, or some investor who's willing to share their advice, feedback, and stuff with me, and learn as much as possible from them. Spend a couple afternoons taking these guys out for a coffee or a soda or a beer if you're old enough, or whatever it is. Learn what they're about, see if you can provide value, and go work for them. Work for them for a week for free if that's what it takes to convince them that you're hustling and you're trying to get after it. Right. Third and final one. This is, in my opinion, the most important, and that is you need to change your identity. So you probably have a checking account. I hope you have a savings account as well. We're going to add a third one, and that is an investing account. So it's make another savings account online in your bank, or go into your bank and do it. And then I want you to change the title to investing. Put $1 in there or more. You have now become an investor. And I want you to let that sink in for a second. See how that feels. The rest of your life, you are now no longer just plain Jane or plain Dan you. You're also an investor. But the rule is every dollar that goes into that account has to then go out into an investment with the expectation that that dollar or those dollars come back with more than what you started with. So, I don't know. I'll pick a Microsoft stock. If you had like $220, whatever Microsoft's at right now, and you really believed in Microsoft stock and you put it in there a year or two later, it's going to be kicking you off dividends, and on top of it, better come back at $240 or $300 or whatever it is, right? That's the expectation for that account and those dollars that go on there. Think of them as little employees, and they go off and they go to work and they come back with more of them. So do that. Hold yourself to that standard. Build your net worth. Get that first 10 grand, bring it up to 100 grand, and then it just starts going from there. Right? Every single person I've ever talked to that has made and done substantially over this 100 grand, we're all in the same thing. It's like, you gotta get that 100 grand, and then it just kind of takes off for you. Compound interest, investments, you've got skills, you're meeting people that want to help you and help them. Like, building wealth is all about helping other people. That's really all it is. You're providing value. So, yeah. Hopefully I shared a few things with you that'll help you out. This was kind of more just a riff than anything, but I just wanted to give you thoughts that are in my head. I appreciate you and your time. Follow me over on Instagram, duplex_Joe. And another thing, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe down below. Hit the like button, all that type of stuff. Share it out with a friend or two, somebody that needs to hear this. And let me know if you have any questions or if you thought I missed anything else. Thank you for your time and have a great day.